Welcome back to Bonnie's Eye on Jam 98, Music for Your Soul. And I got my guys, as I told you, I got Chat Daddy and I got Drew Sean Williams with me. And I have a young lady who is a Steppenwolf ensemble member. She is in, okay, get this title, guys. Are you ready? The most spectacularly lamentable trial of Miss Martha Washington. We have Miss Celeste M.Cooper. Who
Yeah.
girl?
We just call it Miss Martha. That's all
Okay,
we say.
I am so glad. I am so glad. You know, Steppenwolf is one of my favorite theater companies.
Mm,
And Art and I, Chat Daddy and I, we go and see lots and lots of plays there and have such a great time. So tell us about this play.
yeah, so the way I've been describing Miss Martha is if you think about, so George Washington in his will, in real life, put that when Martha died, that her slaves could be free. Her enslaved people could be free. And so Martha basically, this whole show is basically, or a majority of the show is basically Miss Martha Washington having like a fever dream, thinking about the idea of the slaves trying to speed up that process. Um, and she's being visited by people that um, she knows that the enslaved characters are putting on. And then she's also witnessing people that she's seen around, working around the house and stuff like that. And it's kind of almost like it goes with it. It's like hand in hand of like think dream, fantasy, nightmare, and you never really know which she's experiencing based on where she is in this fever dream. But she is just on a roller coaster ride, as everyone in the audience, everyone in the show is on one as well, because there's a lot of quick changes of just everything that you can feel emotionally playing almost a couple layered characters in one.
Wow, that sounds totally crazy.
It's very-
Now, Celeste, what is your character?
so I technically play four characters, but my like base character is Doll, and so Doll, Priscilla, Davy, and Sucky Boy are all and then there's Anne and William are all the enslaved people, the characters, and all were pulled from actual history of Martha Washington's and George Washington's history. So basically, um, myself and a few others are going to take on the different people throughout the dream. So Doll, like I said, enslaved person, is very eager for Martha Washington to die, thinking about what it would mean to be free, probably scared, excited, like all of it, right? But also, since I'm kind of within the dream, part of it is me living through what Martha is experiencing in her head. But in terms of how I'm playing it, as I'm trying to find just the complexity of all of those type of feelings, because I'll never know fully what that was like for the actual doll in life. But just thinking about if the person that has owned me dies, like I could potentially be a free person, and what would I do? And so that's that base character. But then I also play Betsy Ross, who was one of the first people that made the flag. George Washington and some other people asked Betsy to make the flag. Betsy was actually good friends with George Washington, and George and Martha went to the same church. So basically, there's a moment with me and Martha and another woman, Abigail Adams from history, kind of having a girl talk with Martha, trying to convince her to free the slaves, in this dream. But then there's like a game show moment, and I also become Queen Charlotte, and and I'm discussing all the possible prizes and different things, kind of leading up to wanting her to once again free the enslaved people. And then I also, there's a trial, and I play sister lawyer girl, and so that is, I'm trying to make sure we win. It's just a lot of different iterations of trying to wake her up. And how can we do that? Okay, that didn't work. Let's try it this way. Okay, that didn't work. So it's like we kind of just keep putting these different people on, trying to wake her up, as we're also trying to wake up anyone in the world that is a behind on how things really are.
My goodness.
Yeah, it's a wild ride. It's hard to explain. Like you kind of have to experience it.
If I could just jump in for a second here, you are truly a multifaceted thespian. Yes, you are. And just what does it take for you to even get yourself together to portray just so many roles? Because I got a mix of a cocktail, a bipolar character. I got so many things out of what you described. How do you get yourself ready to even perform like this?
What Chat Daddy said, because I was thinking the exact same thing. I'm like, ooh, I know she tired when she get off.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. And today, this was the very first day we did a stumble through of the entire show. And that's exactly what I felt, was exhausted. Not only exhausted playing these different people, but exhausted to have to even do a show for people that are still not aware on how different other people's lives, or specifically Black people's lives, can be. And so I just felt all that, and the pain and the anger and the frustration of that. And so I'm really trying to still find how to, all of our cast is really trying to find how to take care of ourselves, because we have to go in such a way that it's like you don't want to get lost in it. You don't want to get lost in the pain and the anger and all that type of stuff, but it's in there, So I think if anything, it's leaning on other people for support, therapy, journaling, prayer, like all the things. But I kind of just have to find a place of center. That's kind of what we did today, as we circled up and we just kind of had a quiet moment of stillness before we launched into the wild ride, because we're figuring it out as we go. But yeah, it's really just trying to stay rooted and grounded, as we are going to continue to just spin and spin and spin and spin.
Beautiful.
Now, this is written by Pulitzer Prize winning playwright James Lames, right? Ijames. The J is silent. What is it like working with him?
Yeah.
And the whole mindset of what he wrote.
Yeah. No, James is, such a beautiful, beautiful energy. So talented, so smart. And I think it's one of those things it took me a while to say yes to playing this part, because of the idea of having to do this and think about the different comments and things I might receive after a show like this. And I've done different shows where it's like, oh, you were so funny, you were so cute up there. And I'm like, that's all you got? Like just thinking about not knowing what all of that's going to be, knowing that majority of a lot of the white, are white audiences in theater and stuff. We're always trying to get people to come from everywhere, but a lot of times that's not necessarily what the subscription base looks like. And so when I threw that out, I just felt like, James Whitney, everyone in the room, just they understood, and they had so much care and love around, like I completely understand that, and I completely want you to feel like cared for, taken care of, and safe throughout the whole journey of this. And I do feel that way. I do feel like we're checking in enough, we're talking enough, and even just getting inside James' mind, because James was with us the first week of rehearsal. He'll come back around tech and or previews or something like that, and like just hearing how the inspiration for different things or different parts of the show is really powerful and profound, and it just kind of makes you more excited to even be asked to be a part of something so big in a lot of ways.
Well, Whitney White
Yeah.
is the director of the show.
Yeah.
Being a woman director directing a play that is about this woman and other things that are going on around it, does that give it a different kind of feel for you? Or like you said, you have the security of having that they have your back, but what's it like being directed like that?
Oh yeah. So Whitney, she is so mindful of what she's asking, you know, what it costs to do something like this. She's also showing us, bringing in so much different research and different things that, you know, she's finding that to leave room for those moments where we're really just going to have a break time. Like there's like a part of the show, it's just like, yeah, this is where you can reset. You know what I mean? This is where you can check in. Is there something in the space that you can touch it and then you feel like you again, if you feel like you get a little lost? Like she's having these different conversations. She's also starting to have one-on-one conversations with each of us to see how we're doing, to for us to ask questions about all the different characters we're playing, and just provide insight on how we have permission to just really dig deeper and find different varieties for all of these people before we set anything. Like there's room to play. Being an enslaved person doesn't, you know, what we've seen on TV or movies, there was very complex emotion. You know, a lot of times that people don't get to, they get to express that. And so she wants that to be a part of our show. It's not, we don't have to have a specific sound on how we're playing these parts. And so I think that it's all about, it's just very collaborative. It's very like, she'll ask questions and we're just kind of bouncing stuff back to her. And it's really beautiful. It's been really beautiful so far.
Now you have been a Steppenwolf ensemble member since 2018? Is that correct?
Yep, 2018.
Now I told you, Chat and I love coming to Steppenwolf, and one of the reasons why is because of the type of productions that they do. Being an ensemble member, what does that kind of mean to you? Or why do you like being an ensemble member there?
I mean, I think this is one of those things where any artist wish or hopes for a home, artistic home, a place where you can, if you come in as an actor, I can also be like, hey, I want to produce, or I want to direct, or I want to explore the education department here. Like there's so many beautiful avenues that Steppenwolf has also kind of just welcomed me to try out. And so I think that's a thing that I haven't fully experienced, especially at a company that has money to pay me, because I have been a part of a company that, you know, I was working for stipends. So to actually have a company where I actually am getting paid is like such a beautiful thing. So I'm just so grateful, because I've been a fan of Steppenwolf since it was the first show I saw, The Bluest Eye, in 2007. And then I just started stalking them and praying to God that I would be asked to be one day. And it happened. And so it's really hard for me to describe how much it means to me, because I really am a fan of the work, a lot of the dark, the dark things. Like I'm interested in like dark comedies and just any type of thing that really makes you think. I really enjoy that. And so I feel like Steppenwolf is really great and known for very strong work like that.
And very diverse work too. I mean, it's amazing, folks, when you go to the play, any show that they do, they give you this long thing in the beginning to let you know that they are supportive of Native Americans, African Americans, people of diversity, and they make this statement, which when I first heard it, I wondered, I said, wow, that's kind of a major step to step out in a predominantly white audience, because most subscribers to theater are white, and to say this and put it down. And I said, oh, Steppenwolf.
I'm very proud. Yes, very proud to be a part of it, because there, other companies, some companies put out their, statement for Black Lives Matter after George Floyd and the countless others that were killed during this pandemic. But like, some stopped at the work, while Steppenwolf is continuing to do the work and has recently hired someone to really make Steppenwolf as inclusive and diverse and all the things. Like, literally, there's someone working right now behind the scenes talking to staff, ensemble, donors, everybody, of like, how can we make this space better? I need you to think of all of us as a family. It's really changing in a beautiful, beautiful way, or getting better in a beautiful way.
Well, Celeste, Miss Martha, which I'm so glad that you said I could shorten that, because I was stumbling over spectacularly lamentable trial.
I barely say, I don't know if I've ever really said the full name. Yeah.
When does it open, and how long will it be at Steppenwolf?
Our official opening is September 11th. Our first preview, September 1st. We run until October 9th, and with a possible extension until October 30th.
Well, awesome. We will be in the house on September 11th. I've already put in my reservation, my RSVP.
Awesome.
We will be in the house, and hopefully we'll be able to see you after the show. Everybody, you can go to steppenwolf.org to get your tickets. Steppenwolf.org/tickets. You can go there, get your tickets now. I can't wait to see this. Thank you so much, Celeste, for being with us today.
Thank you.